The advice and opinions expressed by the host of Autism Live and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice. The Center for Autism and Related Disorders advises working with a board-certified behavior analyst who has experience with autism before starting any intensive behavioral intervention. Any choices you make in determining your child's treatment are completely at your own discretion.
Good morning and welcome to Autism Live. I am Shannon Penrod and we are coming to you live from the Warner Center in Woodland Hills, California. This is the home for Autism Live. It is also the home for the Center for Autism and Related Disorders. Now, it is Wednesday, and you know on Wednesday, whenever I have the opportunity, we do Ask Dr. Doreen, and when we don't have Dr. Doreen, we ask Evelyn Kung. But today we want to do something a little bit different, and so we've got two amazing guests who are joining us live in the studio, and I'm going to reveal who they are in just a second. But first, I want to show you all the different ways that you can be interacting with us, all the different ways that you can be watching the show, all the different ways that you can comment. Traven, our fabulous Traven, is going to show those to you right now. While he does, I want to remind you that our homepage is autism-live.com. When you go there, there's so many things to do, and there are including the toy guide at the top of the page. You can click on that and you can interact with that and see wonderful toy guides. I love that some of you have been writing in and showing us what toys you got during the holiday season and how your kiddos love them. That's making my day. At the bottom of the page is the chat button. If you click the chat and open it up, a box appears and you and I could be having a conversation, and much better than that, you can have a conversation with our guests in real time. You can also do that on Facebook and you can do that on YouTube. It depends on, what you like to do. But I will tell you that on our homepage, what's cool about it is that and look, there we are on iHeartRadio. I forgot to mention that we're on iHeartRadio now too. Yay, Traven. But what's nice about interacting with us on our live feature on our homepage is that it's completely anonymous. Even I don't know who it is that's writing in. I will say that when you write in anonymously, please let us know what the closest major city is so that we, if we're going to talk to you about resources that may be available to you, it's not the same everywhere, right? It's not a level playing field. For those of you who are in the Los Angeles area, you know that we've got some of the best resources in the world. I don't know that it was always that way, but it certainly is that way now, and partially because of the two people that I have joining me on the show today. In fact, I was talking to a dad yesterday who has an adult child on the spectrum, and I said, all right, because he said, I want to know about resources, and I said, let's start with where do you live? And he said, oh, I live in the San Fernando Valley, and I said, wow, you just won the lottery. Because you live close to a lot of different things, but one of the newest, brightest, best things, I think, in the autism community is the work of the two people sitting with me, revealing that it is Matt Asner and Navah Paskowitz-Asner from the Ed Asner Family Center. And I do think that it's one of the best and bright resources that we have, and we're hoping that you will find a way to franchise and be all over the country.
God willing.
Yeah.
We hope. I mean, that's the master plan.
So you need to have the
evil laugh.
Evil laugh, exactly.
No, I mean, it's we think it's important. We come from a place where parents, we come from a place of what we needed. We wanted to kind of do what we needed, and I think we've been fairly successful in presenting that
in the community.
Yeah, and I want to say, to people who are watching, we always talk about the power of one on the show when one person makes up their mind that they're going to do something different. Now, we say one, but usually one finds a second. One usually almost always finds a second and says, we're going to do this together, and then they gather more people, and that's what starts the movement.
And that's true.
And this is what these two folks have done. This was not easy. I've watched them from fairly early on. I don't know when you guys had the idea. I'm sure you had it way before I met you, but I've watched you guys go through the things that you've had to go through to make this dream a reality.
Definitely.
And even the day-to-day of it now, even though you have a physical place, I love somebody once said, when everybody was traveling to get to the promised land, they arrived at the promised land and there were no buildings and nobody had curtains, right? That it was a whole lot of work. And
Right.
you guys are in your promised land now and you have a building, but you're
Working
still
7 days a week.
Whoo, I see that. I see that. And you're still working and, obviously there are still challenges that you meet from time to time and you're
Definitely.
adjusting, but you're doing a great job.
I think one of the things that makes our facility unique is that we are taking directly from the parents their wishes and creating them organically. And that's something that I couldn't find when I was looking for services. Matt couldn't find. And one of the moms said to me the other day, I wish we had this. And I said, well, let's create that together. And now, 2 months later, we've been able to create this class that the parents wanted. They felt it was necessary for adults with autism. And we've created this home ec real world life skills class that I feel is going to be incredibly helpful and useful and like an everyday need that people are asking for.
I agree, and it's a collaboration. I mean, I can say that we couldn't have done this without each other. We couldn't. I'll say that we couldn't have done this without the parents and without the individuals that we serve. I mean,
listening to
they
them.
all have had a part in this, and this is
Yeah.
and that's what's important about this is it's there's no ownership. It's owned by everyone, and that's it.
Well, if I could say, as somebody semi on the outside looking in, I mean, obviously we come to the center, we participate in the center, so that's why I say semi on the outside. But what I see is the irony is that you are saying, okay, well, we're listening to the parents.
Yeah.
But the irony is what you've done is created a place where I've never seen adults on the spectrum be more comfortable and feel like they've found a home. And by the way, the whole spectrum of the adults.
Yeah.
Not just like, this little category of people who are very high functioning and call themselves
Absolutely.
self-advocates and sometimes, are not thrilled with the parent side. You've made a home for those people. They're thrilled to come to your
we're
center.
employing those people.
And that's
Exactly.
And that's something that's a work in progress. I mean, that's something that you continue to kind of try and create and keep is this comfortable place for everyone.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that it's kind of like We Are the World. It's like, except it's not about ego. It's about whatever. I mean, it's leave your ego at the door.
Yeah.
And it's like we're an inclusive place for everyone.
Yeah.
And we want to be. That's what we want to be.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. It's not easy.
Oh, I can't even
But-
imagine how not easy it is.
But we that's something that we walk in the door and we try and do every day is
Yeah.
make it a home for everyone.
Well, and you're doing a great job of that. I mean, truly, really. And I was trying to describe this to this dad yesterday, and I said, well, okay, so first of all, there's classes, and there's something for every single, and we're going to go through what the new classes are for the spring in just a few minutes. But there are classes, and if any kind of a class, for anybody, you've got something. There's something for everyone, and there's classes that parents can do with their kids. There's classes that they can drop their kids off and go do something else. You have programs that they can do while their kids are there. I mean, it's every possible configuration.
And together.
And
as families.
together as families. So there's that, but then you have events also.
Right.
And I got to be honest, I don't know that I've conveyed this to you guys, but I think that this is your crowning achievement.
Thank
And I've
you.
watched, I've
My
watched.
idea.
That's a
the
great thing.
events.
Those are the most fun we have. I mean,
Well, I think that's definitely born out of our own experience where we have 3 autistic sons. You want to go to a party, you want to go to an event, and you are not comfortable there. Something happens,
Yeah.
you're afraid they're going to have a tantrum. And our community events are monthly.
Yeah.
Each theme is different. Sometimes we have a community member who has a birthday, so we say, like next month, in February, Max Tuber's turning 18. He loves Kiss, so we're having a karaoke 80s night. But it's every
been to our
community
karaoke.
event.
Oh my gosh, yes. I've been forced to sing at your karaoke.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Thank you.
But every community event is about a special needs family coming in and feeling that they can just relax, let down their guard, and just have fun. And they're never going to feel like they're going to be not welcome or included in our community events.
Well, and something that we all always talk about is that there are so many factions in the autism community, and you can't make everybody happy, and we can't get everybody all together one place. I think you guys have achieved the maximum ding, 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 because I have seen at your events where everybody shows up. Yeah. Everybody shows up and everybody gets along and puts everything else aside, and that's pretty amazing. You get 7 gold stars for that.
Well,
7 out of 5.
7 out of 5.
7 out of 5.
Something else.
It's wonderful to hear.
Yeah. So anyway, so I just want to be clear. We're going to talk with a lot of different things with them about their personal lives, about the center, and we're also, because we're all film buffs, we're going to take time to talk a little bit about some films that we've seen. So we're going to be doing that over the next hour. We want to hear from you guys. If you have questions for Matt and Navah, you can be writing them in right now on our live feature or on YouTube or on Facebook. But I want to also mention that, yes, this is happening in the San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles. And where can they go if they want more information about, and we're going to talk about the classes at length, but where can people go for information about the Ed Asner Family Center?
They can certainly go to our website, which is edasnerfamilycenter.org.
Okay.
Or call us.
Or call us.
Okay.
And
phone
what's
number?
that number?
818-302-0712.
Good. And but for those of you who are not in the Los Angeles area, who are like, oh, this is just going to be frustrating to hear what everybody else has everywhere, I just want to remind you that 2 years ago this didn't exist. It was just in their minds, and there was not a place, and there was not a group, and there were not teachers, and that if you truly want this, like I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this, if you truly want this and you're like, why can my adult child not have this, then reach out to them. Yeah. Reach out to them and say, I'm committed, I want to do this. Is there a way 100%. That we can,
absolutely.
And I mean, find a way. That's how things happen, is when one person goes, I'm done not having this. Yeah. And you wouldn't have to completely reinvent the wheel, because they've already invented part of the wheel for you, and they'd be happy to work with you, I'm sure,
100%.
To make something happen someplace else. But I can tell you that when there is a second Ed Asner Family Center, it's going to come about, because that's where people have made the commitment and convinced them this is where you got to have it be. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. We've had people talk to us from really all over the country. And it's kind of like when we started this, as you know, because you were close to us through this whole process.
Yeah, I watched. You worked hard.
Yeah, as you know, we have like a kind of a 3-year plan, and we want to really kind of get situated where we are and really explore this and do what we're doing, which is basically talk to the parents and individuals and give them an opportunity to help us create classes, and then kind of move into the direction of really kind of spreading out. That's not to say we can't do it earlier, but we're excited. We're really excited about the future. We think,
well, I just see all the time, I saw this in my life, and I've seen this in you guys' lives, and any people that I'm close to in the autism community, there's a level of frustration that you meet about, why isn't that thing there that I want? Why am I missing this thing? And then you go, oh, I guess I'm going to have to be a part of creating that. Not necessarily being the whole creating it, but I'm going to have to be a part of that. I remember being frustrated early on and going, I need to know more about autism, I need to know more about ABA, and I need to know more about surviving, but the only time I'm available is from 3:15 to 3:30 in the morning. And there was no college class at that time, and at that time I couldn't find videos online that I could watch on YouTube. So part of my commitment was, I want to create something that a parent at 3:15 could go, I need to know what to do when my kid is tantruming, and find it and have it be easy and watch again and again and again. And look where we are.
We're on the same schedule.
I'm not on that schedule anymore, because my kid is not on that schedule anymore.
My mind is on that schedule.
Oh, bless your heart.
But we are working on online content. So because the community has contacted us on a daily basis in all around the country. And they a family center where a special needs family can go to, it's life-saving for some of these people. And we've had people say to us, your center has changed our lives, and we have a place that we can go to. We have something to look forward to. Yeah. And as a special needs parent, having something to look forward to is everything. I
Yeah.
mean, you feel very polarized. You feel very alone. Most of them are single moms,
Yeah.
and they're in this bubble of fear and loneliness. And to have a place where they can all come and feel included, that should be nationwide.
It should be nationwide. And a lot of it is the single moms, but the
Yeah.
other thing that you guys have done is address the dad issue, because there's a lot of dads,
100%.
who are like, I don't know, the moms
Yeah.
are so like, and I don't know
Yeah.
what to do. And I do think we've created a place where the dads feel comfortable. I see more
100%.
dads participating at your center than anywhere else.
Yeah.
We can go to an autism walk and we don't see as many dads as we see at a party
Yeah.
at your place.
It's
That's awesome.
good. That makes me
Yeah.
happy.
You should-
Well, I think there's a lot of music. There's a lot of, things that guys get into. Remo has been incredibly generous to us in our Remo drum circle. It's probably at 75% guys.
Yeah.
And, they deserve to be included. Matt's doing a poker tournament every few months as his
No,
dad's
I'm doing
support.
a poker night every few
Poker
months.
night.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah,
tournament.
you're doing it. Your
Right.
tournament.
But there is a poker
But
tournament coming
his
up. too,
support,
we're gonna talk
his
about.
support group is a poker night, rather
Yeah.
than like my mom's support groups each month have a different theme,
Yeah.
based on what the moms are asking for, or the month, or whatever.
I so wanted to come to your last
Well,
one.
you're coming on, it's January 31st,
Okay.
and one of our autistic adults, who's a art teacher, she's going to do it like a wine and painting
I
thing
love
for us.
that. I love
And
that.
Aviva's going to co-teach that with her,
Very
and
cool.
it's going to just be fun.
You had a white elephant though in December, and I so wanted
Yeah,
to come.
that
and
was
I-
fun.
I could not get there. It was horrible.
Well, we
I
have a
felt so bad.
huge mom's event for Mother's Day that I'll tell you about
okay,
later.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, great ideas. I vote we take a short break, and then let's come back and go through the classes and stuff. And then we want to leave time to talk about films, because we're all
Yes.
like excited about the films of this
And the
year.
Oscars are
Because they're
coming
so
up.
good.
Yeah, isn't it better than most years? Don't
I
you
think
feel
so.
I
like?
think so.
All right, so we're gonna take a short break. Stick with us. Back after these messages.
Do you provide care services to someone with autism? Recently, more and more children are being diagnosed with the condition and getting the support they need as awareness grows. But what happens to these children as they grow up? It's estimated that over 500,000 youth with autism will turn 18 in the next decade, and they'll be faced with a very difficult reality. As children with autism grow up, their services start to disappear or become very difficult to access. Things like medical care, mental health counseling, vocational training, and more. All services that are still desperately needed. The loss of support that youth with autism face as they grow up is so severe that it's referred to in the autism community as falling off a cliff. Adults with autism need the same level of support they had as children to avoid falling off the services cliff. Introducing Skills Living, the web-based software designed specifically to help transitioning youth and adults with autism so they can avoid the cliff and instead fly to success. With Skills Living, help your learner with autism develop the skills they need in all the critical areas of adult life, including self-control, planning, and problem-solving, effective communication, performing life skill tasks for independent living, acquiring and maintaining employment or other meaningful activities, developing and maintaining social skills and relationships, accessing transportation and public services, and being safe. Skills Living includes a comprehensive assessment, a data collection mobile app, behavior intervention plan builder, and automatic progress reporting. It also provides a complete curriculum addressing 16 key areas spanning the entire range of functioning adulthood. Skills Living is easy to use and can be implemented by schools, parents, and autism service providers. Call or click today for your free demo and see how Skills Living can help your learner with autism avoid the cliff and instead reach their fullest potential. Skills Living. Wish, learn, become.
What is autism?
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 I've been asking myself that for a very, very long time.
Let me think about that one.
Trying to just
Jeez. Let me think. Oh man, that's a rough one. Yes.
Autism,
Autism is a neurological neurological disorder that affects many of our kids in different ways.
It's a learning disability that affects the cognitive functions of the brain.
A lot of people have the misconception that it's a disability, and it's really not.
I look at it as like a special gift.
When one person thinks differently from another.
It's an opportunity for everyone to learn to understand someone that's a little different than them.
Autism is the ability to educate.
They're given so much talent in different areas.
To me, autism means a chance to be with and be around people you really care about. Autism is beautiful.
It's a way of seeing the world differently.
It's always unique, totally intelligent, and sometimes mysterious.
Happiness that comes out of my son's hard work.
It's a movement.
Unpredictable.
Abstract.
Awesome. Love.
The field I want to work in.
Laughter, fun, joy. Autism is beautiful to me.
I want you to remember these 3 words. There is hope.
Welcome back, you guys. We're having too much fun here. I am here with Matt Asner and Navah Paskowitz-Asner from the Ed Asner Family Center. And one of the things that Navah reminded me during the break, to make sure everybody knows, this is a center that is for all special needs individuals and their families, not just autism.
Yes.
And it's important for people to know that because it's an inclusive space.
Yeah, and we have so many, all the communities need the same amount of support and the same amount of, inclusive feeling for our, for parties, for whatever we do, it's for everyone. It's not just for,
Absolutely.
because we're from the autism community.
Yes. Wonderful. I appreciate that. So we wanted to go through some of the different exciting things that you guys have that are kind of new and fresh, and then we're going to go through the whole schedule. But one of the big things that you guys have done that I've seen online is this Remo Drum Circle. Talk a little bit about that. What is that?
Really fun.
And when is that?
Well, it's every Saturday at
12:30 to 1:30.
And Remo's been incredible with us. I mean, they've been very generous and wonderful, and they've given us, just wonderful drums that we use at this drum circle. And Alan Bruni comes in and just gives everyone an hour of incredible fun, and it's fun. Yeah. I love it. If I'm there, I'm in.
It's really fun.
I get involved every time.
And it becomes a jam session.
It's a jam session with drums. Actually, the last one we had someone
Spencer was singing.
We had someone bring out a cello.
Atticus Baldwin pulled out his cello. It was like a jam session.
It's so much fun.
He very much goes with the flow of who are his clients of the day.
Yeah.
So
it really falls in line with improvisation.
Yep.
And
Totally.
and
listening.
as you know,
yes.
improvisation is about listening.
Yes.
And it's about flexibility, and it's something that our kids need so much.
Yes.
That training in flexibility
Yep.
and in listening and in taking cues, and it's improv is everything. So drums are improv.
Yep.
So so we've had it's been an incredible time with that.
And people should know that there's something meditative and healing about drums.
Oh, yes.
100%, and it's a workout.
It is a workout.
I mean, it really is a workout.
But because I've been there, I haven't been to one of the actual classes, but I've been there when you've had them at events before.
Yeah.
And for people who haven't ever done a drum circle, and this is one where parents can come with the kiddos
100%.
and be there. And I think sometimes it's even like more beneficial for the parents because what I saw in the one that I was at, I watched 2 parents realize how much can be communicated when you are patient and listening, because they get up and they sort of, it is improv, but they start by sort of directing it, that they'll just go boom, boom, boom. And then they make a motion, and then we're supposed to go boom, boom, boom too. And the adults were like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do that, right?" And the kids were just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And quickly you saw the parents go, "My kid is tuned in. My kid is listening. I can communicate to my kid in lots of different ways."
Yep.
It's a very special experience. And then there are times when he's gets everybody to just do whatever it is that they need to do. Super fun.
Yeah,
I think it's a super healing thing.
Oh yeah, and I mean, there've been some kids that I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, and we say, oh, come on, just try it, and they try it, and within I'm sorry, I just got this watch and I don't know how to turn off the sound.
I don't think
And,
anybody can hear it but you,
you know,
and I and Navah. Like,
I'm just gonna let it go.
He's got a little like a kid music thing that's just don't even worry about it.
Go to voicemail.
We're going
Now
to
you
inhibit
press
our
this.
response to it.
I don't know.
But anyway, technology. It is
Technology.
what it is.
So yeah, it's great, and so they'll sit down and like in 30 seconds they'll be a part of this incredible unit of people. So
even the adults,
great.
because there's the circle and people are always on the outside. They're like, I'll watch, right? And then they're like, oh,
No,
is there an
it's
empty
so-
seat? Can
it's
I have a little thing
infectious.
to
It's
shake a thing?
infectious.
And then they're like, I'm the big
get out of the
one,
way,
you know.
kid.
Do you know what I got for Christmas? What
What'd you
Jim
get?
got me for Christmas? I got a metal tongue drum.
Really?
I did. It's like this. It sounds like chimes, and you can just beat on it.
Is it kind of a dome looking? I've seen those.
Yes.
Those are
It makes me
amazing.
very happy.
Yeah.
And when I want to bring it sometime to your drum circle because it's just
Those are awesome.
It has a super cool tone. It's for like meditation, and you can beat out your frustrations. But to do that socially in a remote drum circle.
And I think she's Alan, and this Saturday it's Heather, Alan's partner, and I think she's bringing in sound bath this
good.
Saturday,
Cool.
which is a little more zen and not
Yes.
quite so loud.
Right.
But the thing that I love is that he is incorporating the kids. Almost every single kid, he like points to them and they do some kind of a solo, and they feel really excited.
It's empowering.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. An incredible thing. But one of the other things you've added this spring is an improv class, and a very special improv class.
Well, my dad comes from a long line of improv. So he was in the 50s. He helped create with Paul Sills this kind of movement, movement that became Second City, really, with Paul Sills. And that was kind of based on Paul's mother, Viola Spolin, on her theater games. And so it was kind of bred out of that. And if you don't know Viola Spolin, Viola Spolin and Paul Sills are responsible for this amazing improv play called Story Theater, which, have you ever seen that?
Yes.
It's incredible. And it's taking like Grimm's fairy tales and stuff like that and actually kind of creating with using that as a kind of template. And but Viola Spolin is very famous for her theater games, which is thought of really as a communications tool. So it's improv and it's theater games, but it will help in communication. So the class is really going to be fun and interactive, and it's going to be about, there it is right there, it's going to be about improvisation, and improvisation is a tool that you use in life. You use it every day.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, we are improvising right
now.
There is no script.
Right.
And we're having to come up with what we want to say next.
But he didn't say the most exciting thing.
Yeah.
Which
it is the most exciting
being
thing.
taught by Viola's granddaughter, Aretha.
And Paul's daughter, Aretha Sills.
Yeah.
So Aretha Sills
amazing.
is coming in, and she's going to give us the improv treatment, and it's
the direct line.
I'm really excited because it ties into the Asner history and the Sills history, and it's I think a wonderful tribute to their legacy of creating something really special in the improv world.
And look,
Paul much more than my father. My father was there for the very beginning.
Yeah.
Paul was a pioneer of improv, as was Viola.
Yeah.
My dad was just kind of like, part of that movement, with Mike Nichols and people like that, Elaine May and Bern Piven, the Stillers, just an amazing group of people that got together in Chicago and kind of created this movement.
legacy of comedy and a legacy of improvisation, which is really brilliant to be able to share that with our kiddos. And for people who are like, well, but my kiddo, it is amazing when you give somebody a safe space in which to do something, which is like being somebody else for a minute. All of the adults that are on the autism spectrum that we look up to and admire, Temple Grandin, Carrie Magro, you ask them, what did your parents do for you that really helped you? They're going to talk about doing theater.
Right.
Improv, and theater games, and the social environment around those things.
Because it creates self-confidence.
Of course.
And that's what everyone needs.
It's a safe place to fail or succeed.
Exactly. And self-confidence is the key to everyone's success.
Yeah.
It is truly the key to everyone's success.
So
And
a great class, when is it happening?
Thursday nights at
5 to 6.
5 to 6.
6. Wonderful. Okay. Age limit on that one?
It's 10 and up.
Okay.
This particular class, I would say, is for basically anyone
All
on the
abilities.
spectrum.
Okay.
All abilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
All abilities.
All right. And then you also have an acting class, but it's a very specific acting class. This is not a beginning acting class.
No.
What's the intent with
Well,
this acting class?
This was kind of born out of watching the autistic community engage with Hollywood.
Yeah.
So you've got shows like The Good Doctor, like Atypical, and you've got all these actors that are getting work now. And we wanted to kind of, there's really not a place where they can really seriously go and study acting.
A lot of them have agents.
In terms of being a professional.
Being a professional.
I mean, there's acting classes, but in terms of professional acumen, how I act when I'm, like how I need to be prepared on the set, what's the language that's on the set. Yeah, I mean.
We wanted to build a place where people could go get trained in a very safe place.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a wonderful thing because I was an actor a long time ago, and I went through that whole acting school world, and it was very intimidating, and just for me it was very intimidating. But we wanted to build a safe place where people could come, of all abilities, could come and be in a safe place and train and work and workshop scenes from television, films, and movies. And there's an improv element to that too, because there'll be warm-ups during class. And this is going to be run by Cindy Kanya and Vinny Guistafaro.
Yes.
I hope I said that right.
Yes, you did.
But it is an intense workshop. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
It's
for working actors.
Yep.
And it's a 2-hour class. So that in
when
itself.
When is that one?
That begins on Mondays, 5 to 7.
Okay.
And it begins on February 10th.
Okay.
February
Wonderful.
10th.
Wonderful. Okay, moving on because we have a lot to get through. So you also have an art and music class?
Yes.
Started yesterday.
Very excited about this.
Yes.
Very excited about our art director, Aviva Paskowitz, is created this with our amazing music therapist, Judy Langdon. And Judy is an incredible, I'm just so happy that we have her on board. She studied under Ron Borshon at CSUN, who really created the element of music therapy. And she has a severe nonverbal brother. She's been helping me at Camp Ed for many years, and she is just one of the most artistic, empathetic human beings I've ever met. She just gets these kids, and they adore her. Wonderful. And she works with some very, very challenging cases, and she brings out in these kids, I've never seen anything like it, what she does with music. So people have wanted to really combine the two classes, and she has really created a curriculum where it's very music-based, but the kids are able to explore art as well. And we just had our first class last night, and it was very successful. And this is a class for everybody. All abilities can join this class. We had sisters and brothers in the class last night, and this class is on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6.
Okay. And then you mentioned before the home ec class.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we already talked about that one. Maybe we should continue on. But great class.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that the parents, had, even if their kids are doing drum circle or something like that, they said, oh, I just wish I could teach my kid how to make the bed or pick up his socks. So
or make himself a grilled cheese sandwich.
So this particular class is going to be connecting all the day-to-day, life skills that people need. We have an incredible educational person who's helping us create this, and it's really real life skills. How to answer the phone correctly, how to ask somebody for something that you want, how to make the bed.
Right.
We have this wonderful kitchen, so they're going to learn how to load the dishwasher and learn how to, just day-to-day life skills.
This is a class that Navah has said she really would hope that someday we'll offer to dads as well.
That would be a much harder class
I'm not going to say anything because my husband might be watching. My husband loads and unloads the dishwasher.
Oh, really?
He's, I can't find anything afterwards.
Yeah.
But he loads and unloads.
Put up there.
He
Right.
helps. That's Maddie. He
Well,
helps.
and I don't know if you know Byron Katie, but she has pointed out before. Well, who decided that it was in the right place? That your stuff was putting it in the right place?
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, all right, Katie, because that's where it makes sense, right? No, but no. So I'm very lucky. But you mentioned before that each month you have an event. This next event that's coming up is a karaoke night. We mentioned that a little bit. It is in honor of somebody who's turning 18 that comes to the center. And what I love, I think you guys have got smart because I don't think you were charging enough before. And so you have a different.
It's not often you hear that.
Well, I wasn't going to say it to you because I'm one of the people paying to come, but you made the decision to have one price for kids and one price for the adults.
And I call kids, Max's friends and kids, with special needs are all kids, even if the 37-year-old
I think we all got that.
Yeah,
I think we all understood what you meant by it. But I think that was a smart move. So appreciate that. And
I always go overboard. I'm a Jewish mom. I always say this.
And I will tell you, there's a ton of food. There's a ton to do. It's always, there's a ton of people.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
And I'm hoping people will dress up. That would be fun.
We have to dress like the 80s too?
Well, it's optional.
Sure.
You don't have to, but it would be fun.
I don't have to go anywhere
I'm
other
always
than my
looking
closet.
for an excuse to dress like the 80s.
Well,
and his thing is KISS.
Yes.
So we have face painters who will put you, face paint of whichever KISS character that you want.
I have a picture of myself when I was 13, and I had Peter Criss makeup on.
I remember that.
Yeah. Very fun.
I do.
And will your band be performing at this 80s?
No, I'll be singing karaoke. I'll get up there for a karaoke song.
You can't stop Matt Asner from singing.
Okay.
And also, I just wanted to mention that tomorrow night, a couple of our specialists who are adults, queer adults, have started a LGBTQIA support group, which is tomorrow night.
Okay.
It's for anyone who has special needs, autism specific. It's mostly autistic adults who are queer,
who identifies,
transgender, whatever.
Yeah.
And LGBTQIA plus is the new one.
You're right.
And it's tomorrow night from 6 to 7, and you can call me if you have any questions on.
Okay.
The group.
So let's briefly put up the weekly schedule. I'm sorry.
Want to talk about that?
What?
Cooking?
Yes, we're going to start a cooking class. Thank God. I've been trying to get the right teacher, and I found this wonderful guy who worked with Edda for many years, and he has specifically worked with adults in culinary, and he's wonderful. And we're going to start a center cooking class in beginning of February.
And the first thing they'll learn is how to cater your party.
Yeah,
okay.
Good idea.
So let's, we've got the weekly schedule. Let's full screen it to take a look.
That's the special event.
That's the special events. Let's go on.
Which is great.
Yeah, and so you can see all the different things. Did I miss a line dancing one?
You did?
Yes.
How did I miss that?
Oh my gosh. Well, let's talk
you.
about that for a little bit. One of the things you talked about is the need for adults to be social, and there's not really an appropriate. So this was totally parent-created, parent-driven, is our 18 and over social clubs. They're monthly.
Yeah.
Each one is a different theme. It's also co-created by autistic adults, one of our friends' daughters, and each theme is based on. Alex helped a little bit with the first one. And they have said to us, there's socials and then there's socials. And there's socials that I want to go to and there's ones that I don't. And so they're helping me create things that I wouldn't even think of, just like the lighting. And the lighting in here is horrible. And I can't even glance at it. So we have little electric lights, candles on every table. And we're really creating an 18 and over social for autistic adults, created by autistic adults.
Love it. Do you see, though, the schedule, though, Traven, that's just like it says Monday, and then it has all the things for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? We'll give him a second to look at to see if he's got that. He doesn't have it.
I think I sent him the wrong one.
That's
Totally
all right.
my fault.
No.
You can get that on the website.
You can
It's on the
definitely
website.
get that on the
Yeah.
website because there's more than what we talked about. We just only talked about the new stuff.
Well, we're open 6 days a week.
Yeah.
We're closed on Fridays. We work every day. We have no social life. We never go out, except we do watch movies because we have that ability. We had those screeners, and
Which
that's
we
our
want
only
to come back
social.
and talk about that.
Yeah.
But before we go, you've got a big event.
Oh, yes.
That's your Ed Asner poker tournament. You've already got a date for it. When is that?
June 13th
Okay. So people have
At-
plenty
at-
of time to plan.
at Playa Studios. We're gonna get tickets up for sale most likely in the next couple weeks.
Okay.
So it's starting early.
And let me just say that, like, if you are wanting, sometimes people get so excited about meeting stars, and like, if that's a big deal to you, and you can get to Los Angeles area, this is the event to get to. I can tell you all the other events, you're going to get to walk by people and not be there rubbing elbows with people. This is the event where you get to rub elbows. You don't have to play poker. There are a limited number of tickets that they sell that are observers. You get the same access as everybody else to the players.
And you get to eat all night and drink all night.
Open
there's
bar,
great food and
tons of booze.
and whatever. And it's a very ridiculously low price. Again, I think you sell that a little too low, but it's very accessible for people.
Well, it's gone up a little bit this year. But
So,
still very good.
But if that's a big thing to you and that's a big treat to you to meet celebrities, because there are people who write to me and go, Shannon, I'm so jealous that you get to meet all these. This is the event to go to. So you pay for the ticket to observe. You don't even have to play the poker, and then you.
And
but there's a
observing,
limited ticket.
observing
ticket
is a loaded word. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds like an intimidating word. It's not observing. It's you're there. You're partying. You're
You're there with everybody else.
And
you
there's-
just
you're
don't
having
have
a
to
party.
play
It's
poker.
party.
There's
Yeah.
games for them too if they don't want to play
There's
poker.
so much to do.
Silent
Yeah.
auction. There's,
Oh.
but I mean, it's just a great fun environment. Everyone's having fun.
It's a really fun.
No one
But there's
really
so
takes it
much
that seriously.
access to
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
I mean, like
And
no
they're
other
very
event.
down to earth on
They
that
are.
night. They're so
Everybody's happy and relaxed,
They
and
are.
they're playing poker. And as long as
They're
you don't
really
interrupt
nice.
them while they're playing poker,
Yeah.
you know, like they're there at the food. They're like
Yeah.
you can't get away from them.
No,
really.
we're
is
all
the
in
thing.
one room together.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
there's no
there's
ropes.
no stage. I mean,
Yeah, there's no ropes going.
No.
Oh no, this is the VIPs. You can't go
They're
here.
very
So,
accessible.
They're very accessible.
Maybe we shouldn't say that
I
to the
know,
stalkers.
I know.
don't
No.
bring your scripts though.
Don't bring your stalkers.
No. But it's a fun, super fun
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
It's my favorite adult event. I was saying before
Yeah.
that the Mardi Gras is my favorite community event. The Mardi Gras for Autism, because we watched a clip of that. But my favorite adult event of the year is the Ed Asner Poker Tournament. There's nothing like it.
And I want to give a shout out to thanks to Joanne Laura and Autism Movement Therapy who helped us, helped us with the event for the last 2 years. So
we love Joanne.
I love Joanne, and I want to thank her for that.
There we go. All right, so we're going to take a break, and then we're going to switch gears a little bit and come back and talk about movies, because I can't stop talking about movies. And they watch. I think you guys are the only people that have watched more movies than me in the last 2 months.
This is a year. This is a year where I think we've actually seen. I think every film that's out.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Little Women. It's the only film
wow.
that I haven't seen that's nominated for Best Picture, but there's a bunch
Yeah.
of other films that I haven't watched, and I've only seen one of the documentaries. It's on my schedule.
Well,
I don't think
we're
we've
light
seen-
on documentaries.
yeah.
We have
All
not
right.
seen a lot of the documentaries.
And I haven't seen the animated ones. I'm sure you've seen the animated ones, because you have
I
younger
haven't seen
kids.
Missing. We haven't
We
seen
haven't
Missing
seen
Link.
Missing Link. We
but
have it. We
which-
were
which
saving
won
it
the
for the
Golden Globe.
kids.
So.
We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and talk about all of this. Stick with us.
You say howdy, we say hi. Let's get rowdy, let's get wild. 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 Let's get wild.
Hi there, I'm Lisa Ackerman. Welcome to the show. So the goal of today, we're going to make meatballs. Let's get started. So again, I'm going to take roughly a pound of my ground organic turkey, and I'm going to add in the secret vegetable. So if your kid doesn't like vegetables, don't cook in front of them, okay? Have them watch a movie or something. But you definitely want to make sure they're not watching, because then they won't eat it. So, and here we go with the egg. And our breadcrumbs. I'm just adding salt and pepper to taste. If you think about kids' shapes and sizes, you want to think small shapes, small hands. So your oven should be preheating at about 400 degrees. We're going to kick into the oven here and look at our meatballs. I did flip them halfway through the 20-odd minute, so we'll put just like Julia Child's. There's our finished product right there. These are good. Cooking is easy. You don't have to be afraid of it. But we want to hear from you. If you can let us know what recipes are important to you, maybe convert a recipe from a traditional flour or gluten-based to a gluten-free or an allergy-free, we're here to help. So you get to us, you can email us at autismlive@gmail.com. You can reach out on Facebook at facebook.com/autismlive or reach out at Taka Now. So I know you're having a great day. I had a lot of fun cooking with you in the kitchen, but I'll tell you, before we end, I gotta have more meatballs. Have a great day.
You say howdy, we say hi. Let's get rowdy, let's get wild. Let's get wild.
Welcome back to Autism Live. I am here with the fabulous Matt Asner and his even more fabulous wife, Navah Paskowitz-Asner.
Oh, wow. I did not pay her to say that.
I did pay her to say
Oh,
that.
you did?
No, I'm kidding. Oh.
And I don't because I think that women should always get the more fabulous thing. I didn't mean to take
agree
anything
100%.
away
I
from
give
them.
her all the credit.
But
Hardly.
they're fabulous together. They're wonderful, and they are here today talking about the Ed Asner Family Center. Traven did get the other one, so I just want to go to it briefly to look at the schedule, and you guys can get this online. But take a look at all the classes that are there. It's
And
like
the phone number.
and the phone number that's there. I mean, look, you guys, the main thing for this is there is something for everyone. And if you're like, we're busy on Monday, this is not an excuse. The only day of the week that there are not classes is Friday.
That's a day where we rest.
Well, and heaven knows that you absolutely need it. So there is something for everyone. Find the thing.
Maybe you rest.
My advice is to go and take a class once and see if it's a good fit. 100%. And what will end up happening is that you're going to end up taking 4 or 5 classes, and that's a really good thing.
And let me mention something.
Yeah.
Because one thing we are doing is if you want to come and try a class, we'll let you do a class for free.
There you go. So
you can
audit a class for free.
Audit a class for free, whichever one you want, and the first class is free.
There you go.
Just whenever you want to
can't
use
beat
it,
that.
whenever you want to use it, you can use it, and that's it.
You just have to call in advance and RSVP so we make sure that you don't drop into a class that's already full.
All right. And then obviously once summer rolls around again, you'll be doing your fabulous camp
Yes,
ed.
I'm very excited about camp this summer.
And
We're starting a little bit earlier this year. We're starting in June, which is the first time we've ever done that. But it's the community has spoken, and we're going to start on June 22nd.
All right.
And 7-week camp. We have a new camp director who I'm going to tell you about later in another show. And it's going to be the best camp we ever had. Very musically based, and
probably improv and
everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be the greatest show yet.
Okay, so, and we'll let you guys know about that when it gets closer to the date. But we said we were going to talk about films a little bit, because how could we not? And I think it's been a great year. But so there's what you think will win Best Oscar and what you think is Best Picture.
Are we going to do predictions?
Yes.
Really?
Why
Maddie
not?
loves that.
All right, let's keep track of this.
So what do you think, first of all, will win Best Picture?
Best Picture will be 1917.
I think it's going to be Parasite. Are we talking about for the Oscars?
Yes, for the
I think
Oscars.
Parasite's going to win.
Okay,
Not a chance.
and I think that Best Picture will be 1917. Now, what do you personally think is the Best Picture of the year?
My Best Picture choice didn't even get any. It was like totally forgotten, and I thought it was a beautiful portrayal of somebody with Tourette syndrome. And Ed Norton, I think, should have been nominated as well. Motherless Brooklyn, I thought was the best movie of the year.
Which I haven't seen, but based on
So
your
beautiful.
review, I'm gonna see.
So beautiful.
Matt, what do you think the Best Picture of the year is?
Well, a close second was 1917, so
Okay.
I think they're getting it right if they vote that in.
Okay.
But I have to say, Jojo Rabbit. To me, that's probably the best film in 5 years. It really affected me, and anyone who puts that film on and says they can't take it, they don't want to watch that. I say give it a half an hour, give it 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But literally,
give it 15 minutes.
up to the 29th minute, I was standing up to leave.
Oh yeah.
And I kept saying, please
There
just
is
sit down and.
nothing
I
should
was
be
like,
made light.
no.
The Holocaust
I will say
and
this.
Hitler, that's nothing, in my opinion, to make light of.
But it makes sense.
Yeah,
the way they do it makes
absolutely
sense,
does.
and it's very important to see.
After
very
minute
important.
30. You got to
Okay.
get through the first
yeah,
29
you gotta
minutes.
ride through it, yeah.
But I will say this. There are two films that I've seen twice this year.
Okay,
1917
right,
and Jojo Rabbit.
okay.
I saw them twice because I liked them both so much that I wanted to kind of see them again. So I've seen those two twice. What about you?
Well, I think that the best film of the year is 1917. And I gotta say, though, that when I watched Jojo Rabbit, I was like, there's no way that anybody's gonna beat this for me. And I understand the politics of it all, and it's not gonna get Best Picture, but I was like, everybody needs to know about Jojo Rabbit. It's the Best Picture, because I think that it's required watching.
I agree.
That everyone, and I can't wait that in the future that they will show this in high schools.
Yeah.
And I think it's got a power punch. I think it is clever. I think the performances are amazing. The direction is amazing. The script is amazing. And I was like, nothing can beat this. And then I saw Parasite, and I was like, oh, okay, that's really good too. I still was preferring JoJo, but then I saw 1917 the other day, and it is a piece of filmmaking that is unlike
incredible.
anything. And I don't think anything can compete with it.
And I'll say this about 1917. If you don't know anything about World War I, that is a great place to start because it really shows you what these people had to deal with.
Yeah.
And they're just babies.
I mean, war is
That's
hell.
the hard-
War is hell.
They're
No matter how you
And
look
it
at
doesn't candy coat it.
It doesn't get any better
No.
when you go to war today. I mean, it's,
It's
very
but back
gory.
then you lived in trenches for
months. Yeah.
and it was the worst conditions you could ever experience, and really shows that, highlights it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's that element of it. I'm so sad that the actors were not nominated. I
You have your own theory about that.
I do have my own theory, which I cannot share.
Spoiler.
Because there's a spoiler alert in it. But it's horrible, especially one of the actors, I think, was robbed from being at least nominated.
Yeah.
But that's a good segue to move over into, so I think the hottest category is I think best director and best male actor.
Okay.
So who do you think is going to win for best actor, and who do you
Wish
would win?
Well, I think that's a good question. That's
Isn't
a
it?
tough
It's
category
a
because
very tough category.
I would
Usually it's
probably,
supporting actor for me that I feel like, but I think the
that's
best
true.
actor is rough a little bit. And I
Well,
think,
let's talk about director first. So
Okay, let's do
my
director
feeling
first.
about director is I think it's a three-way tie for me.
Ooh, well, who are your three?
So I think, and one of them is not even nominated,
I
so it doesn't
know.
even matter. So never mind, it's a two-way tie. Sam Mendes.
Yeah, for 1917.
And
The Parasite.
Parasite. Bong.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can't even say the
embarrassed.
name of the guy from
but
JoJo, who also should have
Jojo
gotten a
Rabbit
nomination.
should have been
Yeah.
nominated, but it wasn't. But
Matt said he played Hitler in that.
he did.
Yes.
I could not believe that.
Yeah.
No,
What
no,
a talented
he's
guy.
He's incredible. He's
I'm shocked,
he was
though.
in The Mandalorian. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
I haven't seen that.
it's great.
The man is brilliantly talented.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I want to know him. I want to live in his living room. I want to know
He's
everything about him,
hysterical.
because the mind that can do all the things
No.
Yeah,
that
I
his
can't
mind has
believe
done.
it.
And his
fascinating.
previous movies have been equally great.
Yeah,
And if you haven't seen
but
those,
so different.
Yeah.
So different.
Yeah.
And his comic genius.
Yeah, he is.
And
He
his
was
portrait.
the
And
best
he didn't
part.
want to play Hitler because he was like, look at me. He's a person of, different color. And he was like, I
yes,
can't
that's
play
right.
Hitler.
Well, it's fascinating. He's
He's Australian, but he's
Australian. No, he's Jewish.
Indigenous?
He's Ashkenazi Jew and I think Filipino. I think.
But he was
Am I right?
raised
I
in
think
like
so.
New Zealand
Yeah.
or Australia, so he's a very
Maori.
a very interesting journey to get there. But so he was concerned about that. But
Yeah.
makeup wise, they
Yeah,
were
I
able
thought
to
it was
take
very
his shade down
realistic.
enough to. But yeah, I thought that his portrayal was
Unbelievable.
beautiful and nuanced,
Yes.
and beautifully directed by himself. Okay, so I think he should have been nominated, but I wish
agree.
that there had been a woman nominated. Thank you. And there were
Well-
a couple of women who I think
Yeah.
could have been.
Well,
I haven't
Scarlett.
seen Little Women yet, but
Should have been
but
nominated.
I saw Harriet, and but whatever.
We didn't see that.
We haven't seen that yet.
Okay, you got to see
Yeah, we
Harriet.
didn't
Oh
see
my
that.
gosh, great film. But who do you think for director?
For director, for sure, Parasite. 100%. I don't think.
And I'm totally Sam
But for
Mendes.
actor,
There's no way.
I didn't. I mean, I honestly hated the Joker. I thought it was so upsetting, so depressing. I go to the movies to have fun. It was like, to me, it was
That's a
just
good segue.
Yeah.
It was just enduring. You had to get through it. It was just.
We've got 2 minutes.
I'm not into it.
Well, that's a good
So-
segue to Best Actor because
Yes.
I thought it
so
should have
Best
been-
Actor. I thought The Joker was like an amazing piece of work. It's not what I go to the movie theater
No.
for either. It's not my kind of movie.
I agree
But
with
I think
you.
it was brilliantly directed.
I agree with you.
But I think that, sorry, Sam Mendes, for what he was able to do with 1917, it's a feat of camera work. It's beyond like what you would have had to have done to direct those actors to do that and direct the cast. It's choreography. It's amazing. But for Best Actor, I still think that Joaquin gets it.
100%.
I don't think.
I agree with you.
I think
So
it's
who
a
do you-
shoo-in.
so who do
I
you-
liked Adam Driver. I think he should have won.
Well, and
Adam
I'll
Driver's
say
great.
this.
I think
I'll
Brad
say this.
Pitt,
He's
no.
second. No,
Yeah,
Brad Pitt's
he's
supporting.
Yeah, I think he's
Oh,
second.
he's supporting?
Yeah.
Oh,
Brad-
I
Brad
still
Pitt.
don't. I thought
Oh, yeah,
Leonardo
Brad
was
Pitt is-
way better than Brad Pitt in that movie.
But
I did too.
I thought it
but-
was the best performance of Leonardo's
I
life.
see. I think Brad Pitt was amazing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I thought he was really
So
good, I think he'll win Best
Yeah.
Supporting Actor because the rest of them are from The Irishman, and what I have to
Yeah.
say about The Irishman is
Goodfellas.
The whole,
Let's-
like what
the
a
whole bunch of
epic
guys.
waste of time.
Let's just go and hang out and do Goodfellas again as
Yeah.
old men.
Yeah,
Wow.
and let's do some
I-
CGI, and let's have a bunch of people that we couldn't possibly care about, and let's make sure that we minimize
So-
women at every single
Yeah.
opportunity
So
that we
boring.
get.
True.
I left after a very short time. Like, enjoy this.
But ask me
I
how
enjoyed
really
it.
feel
I
about
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was
It's a
Best
guy's
Picture.
Now
movie.
we have 2 more minutes. We
It's a
we
guy's
gave 2
movie.
minutes. We have 2 minutes now.
good.
I hated Irishman.
But Joaquin-
You're
I'm
gonna love.
offended.
You're gonna either love Little Women or you will say, "Oh, I like the original," because it's
See-
totally different than the other.
See, I hadn't
version.
seen any of the versions.
Yeah.
I've seen them all in
I
love.
haven't seen
Yeah,
I
Little
love-
Women
I
was one of
love
my
them,
favorite
but
books.
Love some more than others.
I like
Yeah.
this one the best because I have seen them since,
Yeah.
and I like this one the best. I
Well,
thought it
Laura
was really
Dern
good.
was incredible. I think Laura Dern is on her roll. That lady is unstoppable.
Yeah.
She's
Well, she was
incredible.
amazing in Marriage Story.
Oh
I think
my
hands
God!
down,
In,
she's
in,
got
in
it.
Little
got that
Women,
wrapped
she's
up.
one of the best things about Little Women.
I think it's funny because a lot of friends that I have that love the Little Women story say that they don't like Timothy Chalamet in it, which I'm
couldn't
100% sure I'm going to love him in that.
No, he does. He's
and
not
I
right.
love Saoirse
Laurie
Ronan.
was like tall. You think of
He's
Laurie as
tall.
he's about 5 feet tall.
Timothy
He's not 5
Chalamet
feet
is
tall.
not 5 feet tall.
No, he's not.
I
We
hope you're
started
not
a
watching.
rumor
I
that
don't mean
Timothy
any
Chalamet is short.
disrespect, but
Um,
he's tiny. He's tinier than.
I think I'm going to love him as Laurie. I think I would have cast him as Laurie.
He was good in this, and
But
he was even
I'm
better
not
in
sure
this.
about Laura Dern for Mom. I'm like,
God, wait till you see it.
She's
okay.
good.
That's all I'll
right.
say.
She's good.
All right. Well, I have I have other examples of that I love because my favorite one is the June Allison version of those movies.
What was
We got
that done in
30
the
seconds.
50s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Technicolor, fabulous.
I have to watch that. I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh well.
It's like
have
A
to watch
Star
that.
Is Born. When we watched the
Yeah.
original, I loved the and
Right?
I've never seen it. Oh,
Right?
I loved it.
Okay, so we're pretty much out of time, but remind everybody where's the website to go for that Asner Family Center.
www.edasnerfamilycenter.org.
Go there, find classes, audit a class, and if you don't have it in your neighborhood, reach out to these people and say, I want to be a part of bringing this to my neighborhood. That might be a journey. In fact, it would be a journey, but it's doable. I've watched them do it.
It was our dream, and we made our
Yep.
dream
That's
come
right.
true, and
All right,
anything's possible.
Let me tell you guys, so tomorrow on the show, we have Megan Dolan, who's the Lemur mom, back on the show with us. We adore her. She's got a benefit that's coming up, so we can't wait to talk to her about that.
I
then
got to
on
go to that.
Friday for Let's Talk Autism with Shannon and Nancy. So exciting. Nancy Alspaugh Jackson is going to be with us. And guess who our special guest is? Christina Adams, author of Camel Crazy, also author of A Real Boy, my favorite book that got me focused of where I needed to go for my son. So that is on Friday. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.